Shalom, Ka'Allah Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakah HaKadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone. Salutations to all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives to do so. To the scattered hopeful elect across the four corners of the earth, and those among the heathen nations that look like the heathen nations, pursuant to Jeremiah 12 and 9, known as the speckled birds. This is not a black thing. I am disciple of Parium, a follower of Great Millstone, coming to you with a lesson in truth and sincerity. And what I want to talk to you about is essentially what happened to Hawaii. And this is in reference to the Debe Tiras Más Fotos album with Bad Bunny. Okay? It's not just an album. It's a lot more than that. This is a love letter to Puerto Rico and really to the northern tribe of Ephraim. And for those of you who hear this and understand this. And so essentially this is Bianca Graulau, and she's going to be going over essentially what happened to Hawaii, and I'm going to do some little translations, and we're going to hit the scriptures. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and play this.
¿Qué le pasó a Hawái? Pues les cuento. Porque Hawái era una nación independiente con su propia reina, pero comerciantes de los Estados Unidos decidieron que ellos querían estar al mando.
So basically she's saying what happened to Hawaii. Hawaii was their own nation, and then they had a queen. But then, obviously Babylon came in, aka America, and came in and took over.
Así que derrocaron a la reina con la ayuda del gobierno de los Estados Unidos. Y 100 años más tarde, el gobierno se disculpó, pero ya para eso Hawái era un estado. Entonces, ¿qué tiene que ver?
So they're saying, over 100 years later, they haven't really apologized of what they did, in the enforcement of taking over Hawaii and making it a state. And essentially, there's parallels of what's happening to Hawaii, what happened to Hawaii, and what is currently happening to Puerto Rico. And quite frankly, a lot of people want to get out of being a so-called Commonwealth, which really it's a freaking colony. They're still under colonial rule, under the thumb of Babylon, and the people are sick and tired of it. And what's going on over there with not being able to access beaches, being priced out of properties, of houses. There being a lack of jobs and opportunities just all kinds of stuff. But I'm going to include one of her videos that she did, and it's called Aquí Vive Gente, and it's on YouTube, and that means people live here. And I'm going to include that so you can see a little more in depth of what's going on with this lesson. Oh.
Puerto Rico con Hawái. Bueno, pues ese debate de si Puerto Rico debería ser estado de los Estados Unidos continúa vivo aquí. Yo estuve en Hawái hace un par de años cubriendo este mismo tema y estas son algunas de las cosas que aprendí que le pasaron a Hawái después de la ocupación de los Estados Unidos. Agua que antes le llegaba.
So she's saying that she used to live in Hawaii, and she's showing you what Hawaii once looked like prior to there being high rises and these tall buildings that Esau loves to build.
A fincas familiares para que pudieran sembrar comida, la desviaron para que le llegara a resorts y hoteles. Y costas que antes se veían así, se desarrollaron para que se vieran así. Por supuesto, hay quienes celebran esto como progreso y creación de empleo. Pero todo ese desarrollo ha hecho que los precios en Hawái estén por las nubes. ¿Cuánto más o menos ustedes creen que cuesta una casa como esta en la isla de Oahu? $1 million.
They're saying that house costs $1 million. And, after all this, built up, and she's saying that, talk about most of the people that are poor there in Hawaii are locals, and the majority of those locals are diaspora.
Por un lado se ve mucho lujo y desarrollo en las costas y por otro se ve mucha gente viviendo en la calle, muchos de ellos nativos hawaianos. Los nativos hawaianos también tienen un porcentaje de pobreza mucho mayor que el de la...
See, look at that. 27% poverty among native Hawaiians compared to 15% of the average population there.
Población general. Yo entrevisté a esta señora nativa hawaiana quien me dijo, quebrándosele la voz, que mucha de su familia se ha tenido que ir a vivir a otros estados de los Estados Unidos y que ella no quiere tener que irse. Al igual que con Puerto Rico, hay más población nativo-hawaiana viviendo fuera de Hawái que en Hawái. Por
So
eso
they're saying, there's a diaspora, there's more people living outside of Hawaii than there is in Hawaii. And so, yeah, like I said, the people are getting sick and tired of being sick and tired. And we say this, it's coming home to roost, essentially.
la canción de Bad Bunny dice, quieren quitarme el río y también la playa. Quieren el barrio mío y que abuelita se vaya. ¿Qué fue lo que le pasó?
So that was one of the lyrics that she just read. It's lucky. Let me pull this up real quick. So one of the lyrics she just read that is, they want to take my river and my beach. They want my neighborhood and my grandmother to leave. It says, no, they don't go off of the flag, nor forget the Lelolai, which is about the singing and the passion that we have within our island. And it's not just about Puerto Rico too. Really, it's all the northern tribes have listened to this album, and they're tired of Esau moving over there and doing the same thing as well. Costa Rica has been talking about this in their local parliament. I mean, this is huge. Like, I had never seen an album from Puerto Rico hit #1 in Germany. Like, let's be honest. So it's kind of essentially awakening of these dry bones.
A Hawái, pues les cuento.
So with that, it's lucky. So first, I want to read off Numbers 35 and 33. And it reads, so ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it. That's what was required. So saith Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai of you Edomites. Let's go to Deuteronomy. So we gotta say, why are all these things happening? Because a lot of people on the island, unfortunately, are Protestant or Catholic, and they don't understand that we fall under the curses. So let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 28, and I'm going to read verse 15 first. When it goes into all the things that will happen unto Israel when there's the consequences to our disobedience. It says, but it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken to the voice of the Lord thy power, to observe and to do all the commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all the curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. And we go down to verse 45. It says, moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed, because thou hast hearkened not unto the voice of the Lord Yahweh thy power, to keep his commandments and his statutes and his command, and which he commanded thee. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. So it's showing you who these curses fit. Okay, they don't fit, these the JOOs today, the ones who are in the land. Verse 47, because thou servest not the Lord Yahweh thy power with joyfulness and with gladness and of heart, for the abundance of all things. Therefore shalt thou serve their enemies, which the Lord Yahweh shall send against thee, in hunger and in thirst and nakedness and in the want of all things. And he shall be put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. And we serve that slavery, okay? And we've been through many captivities, but particularly that yoke of iron, yeah, that was that transatlantic slavery. Let's go to verse 64. And the Lord Yahweh shall scatter thee among all people from one end of the earth unto the other, and thou shalt serve other gods. In Puerto Rico, the Taino has served many of the semis. They serve these other gods, of wood and stone. Okay, that's not our God. Our true God is Yahweh. Okay, He exists, which neither none of thy fathers have known, either wood or stone. So, I want to go to Deuteronomy verse 30. Just bear with me for a second. My phone's acting a little slow. All right, so we'll start from the top. It says, this is the restoration that's going to be promised. It says, and it shall come to pass, when all these things are come upon thee, the blessings and the curse which I have set before thee, and thou shalt call them to mind among all the nations, whether the Lord Yahweh thy power have driven thee. Because we are diaspora among all the nations. All right. And in verse 2, and shalt return unto the Lord Yahweh thy power, and shall obey his voice according to all that I command thee this day, thou and thy children, with all thine heart, and with all thy soul. Verse 3, that then the Lord Yahweh thy power will turn thy captivity and have compassion upon thee, and will return and gather thee from all the nations, which the Lord Yahweh have thy power have scattered thee. Okay, so He's going to return us. Okay, let's see. Let's go to verse 5. And the Lord Yahweh thy power will bring thee into the land which thy fathers possessed, and thou shalt possess it, and He will do thee good and multiply thee above thy fathers. So we're going to get back into that land. Okay. Now, going to that lyrics of Hawaii, and it reads, and she looks beautiful even when, this is a song of Bad Bunny. She looks beautiful even when things sometimes go wrong. In her eyes, a smile holds back her tears. The foam of her shores look like champagne. It's alcohol for her wounds, for dancing away the sadness. It's alcohol for her wounds, because there's so much to heal deep in the Green Mountains. You can still breathe. The clouds are closer. With God you can speak. Oh, slacking. My computer messed up right here. Just give me a second. Just bear with me. I hit the wrong button. It says you hear the Hebrew crying. The Hebrew were the working class in the mountains. But that word, it's just saying, it sounds, like Hebrew, It says another one who's left, he didn't want to leave to Orlando, but the corrupt ones pushed him out. And then it goes to the chorus, they want to take my river and take my beach too. They want my neighborhood and my grandmother to leave. No, don't let go of the flag, nor forget the Lelo line, because I don't want them to do to you what happened to Hawaii. So, I'm going to read Habakkuk chapter 2, and I'm going to start from the top. It says, I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And the Lord Yahweh answered me and said, write a vision and make it upon plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, and it will surely not. It would not tarry. It says, behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him. And this is speaking of Esau, Edom. They're not. The soul is not upright in them to do good. It says, but the judge shall live by his faith. It says, yea, also because he transgresses by wine, or his philosophies and the way that he runs things in the world, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlarges his desires as hell. All right, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. And that's what he's been doing. Okay, but he's being found out. All right, verse 6. Shall not all this take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his? How long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay, that abatya, right? Because that's what their whole economy is built off of. It's built off of debt. Okay. So verse 7, and shall they not rise up suddenly, that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booties unto them. All right. So essentially, in the meantime, we were catching hell. Okay. Let's go to the book of Sirach. Go to chapter 13, read verse 4. And it's titled, caution regarding associates. If thou be for his profit, he will use thee. But if thou have nothing, he will forsake thee. If thou have anything, he will live with thee. Yea, he will make thee bear, and will not be sorry for it. If he have need of thee, he will deceive thee, and smile upon thee, and put thee in hope. And he will speak thee fair, and say, what wantest thou? What do you want? And verse 7, and he will shame thee by his meats. Actually, you know what? We'll read that real quick in the slacking. Trying to find it in the GNT, so just give me a second. Just bear with me. And Sirach 13:7 reads, he will feed you until you are embarrassed. Finally, when he has drained you 2 or 3 times over, he will laugh at you. If you see him later, he will pretend he doesn't know you and will pass you by. So that's what he does. This man just uses you. Okay. But I think this album is just something that's going to be going into that. Let's go ahead and pull it real quick. I believe it's Isaiah chapter 11. they're going to, the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom coming back into one stick, and that we know that Ephraim should not vex Judah and Judah should not vex Ephraim. And this is what this album is kind of doing. It's bringing us a lot closer. Okay, and these prophecies are speaking. So it says, verse 11, it says, "And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people, which shall be left from Assyria, from Egypt, and from Pathros, and from Cush, and from Elam, and from Shinar, and from Hamath, and from the islands of the sea. And he shall set up an ensign for the nations, and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel." Okay, and gather together the dispersed of Judah and from the four corners of the earth. And since the envy of Ephraim shall depart, and the adversaries of Judah shall be cut off, Ephraim shall not envy Judah, and Judah shall not vex Ephraim. So let's go to Jeremiah 49, verse 10. "I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places." And this is what's happened to Esau, especially with this internet. His skirt's being lifted up. It says, "His seed is spoiled, and his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not." So as you read over here, it says, "But I will strip bare the land of Edom, and there will be no place left to hide. Its children, its brothers, and its neighbors will be destroyed, and Edom itself will be no more." So, with that, Akim, I pray this lesson was edifying. And, this, like I said, it's a beautiful thing to see this, this album kind of coming to fruition, out of left field. I wasn't seeing that. To be honest, I didn't really listen to Bad Bunny like that. I mean, I've heard a couple of songs, but, this is definitely a game changer. But, everything's all prophetic. And, Yahweh Shem Yahushai can use who he wills. All right? So with that, I pray this lesson was edifying. To you, Akim Akwath, I'll say Shalom, Kwam Yashrallah, and Ba Ba Ba. Shalom.